being able to work in the soil and try and improve it and do better and see if you can improve that crop and do a better job at it and raise it more efficiently with less water, with less fertilizer, make better food, more nutritious food. That's kind of become my challenge now is to see if I can do better at it.
Anybody you meet, really, when you tell them that you're a dairy farmer, the first question is, well, where do I get your milk? We see our product, in the grocery store in the state, feeding, friends, family, the school system. That's nice, being able to tell people in your community that, and they're all excited because they can tell somebody that they know where their milk came from.
I like being outdoors. I like, doing things, with my hands. Love watching things grow. Love watching things get built. Those are the things that I would say motivates me. I am a multi-generational farmer from Hannibal, Missouri.
We're in Oakley, Idaho on my family's farm and ranch. My brother and I are 4th generation on our operation.
I'm the 10th generation to farm in central Kentucky. It's really opened up my eyes to the legacy that we do have here.
Currently farm with my family, my wife, which we have 4 kids with, my brother and his family, and then my parents are all actively involved in our multi-generational diverse farm.
My dad started the farm in 1978. I know that he had gone to college thinking he was going to be a hog farmer.
I was going to be a hog farmer, but they told me if I was going to make any money, I needed to be a dairy farmer, so I just ripped the papers out. I said, I'm a dairy farmer now. The farm was coming open for sale. I went to the auction that morning, bought the farm that morning, bought the cows that afternoon, equipment that afternoon, and milk that night. That's the first time I'd ever milked. John, he kind of surprised me coming back to the farm because I didn't think he'd ever come back either. Of course, I didn't think I was going to come back to the farm, but I did.
I didn't know if I was going to come back to the dairy or not. I'd tried out a few different jobs. I've worked for different farmers, different co-ops, and ended up in 2018 deciding to come back to the farm full time.
Coming back to the farm was the last thing I wanted to do. That was not in the plans to come back. And then after I'd spent some time at college and that, I kind of had a change of heart and thought, what would help to come back with, and then that's kind of where the path changed, and now we're here.
My mom had told me growing up that if I wanted to farm, I had to go to college first. I always knew I wanted to be in agriculture growing up on the farm. My dad never made me work, really. I mean, he knew if he made somebody work that he would probably push them away. But there's just something about growing the feed to feed to your own cattle is what drew me back to the farm.
I knew my great-grandpa that broke that farm ground out of brush, the one that started on that farm. To have the stories and to know what they went through to establish this country and to be able to make it where we could have the freedoms that we do. To look back at that and have that opportunity to be able to say, yeah, the guy that homesteaded this, I knew him. That's awesome.
Yeah, my great-grandpa came here in 1880 from Grantsville, Utah. A lot of those people were immigrants from England and in Europe. They wanted a piece of dirt of their own, an opportunity. And probably half of them failed, but you could pop a good crop, you could make a living. But you had to work hard, to do it.
It's not about the money, it's more about the rewards. I just always knew I wanted to farm. I'd love to tell you there was this great big grand plan. I went to school, went to college, come back home and said, well, I guess we're gonna figure this out, how we're gonna make this work.
When I first started, we could only milk 18 cows an hour. Today, we are milking 130 cows an hour. Huge difference. Things change. You just gotta be able to change with time. If you don't, you'll be left behind.
The dairy landscape's changed a lot. My dad always tells us, of course, I wasn't here in 1978, but when he started the farm, there were 275 dairies in Washington County, in our county. Now, today, there's 2. And I can't blame them. Dairy farming is not for everybody. It's every day. It's 3 times a day somebody's milking. Rains, sleet, snow, or shine, you're out there.
Farmers are the biggest gamblers there are in the country as far as I'm concerned, because We put a seed in the ground and we hope it's gonna grow. My phone dings at 11 o'clock at night because the pivot shut down. I've gotta, either swap it or go do something about it or whatever. It gets old sometimes, but at the same time, I'm vested in this. My name is on this place. I've helped to make it what it is.
I love to plant corn. I love to run the planter. I just love doing that. And I can't imagine going the autonomous route, but I would definitely be willing to try it. It's one of those things where it's like, I might enjoy it more by being able to dig right behind the planter as it drives by me. I think it's definitely a way to farm.
That's the beauty of technology. It does make it easier. It allows us to manage more. I think that we still need that human aspect, You still need that person to verify.
Sometimes profitability isn't what you make, but it's what you don't spend. And technology has been a huge part of that efficiency gains. We're a huge AGCO user, especially developing the ideal combine. That machine was born on our operation. And to be able to be a part of that and be involved with that, it puts a smile on my face to see what it is today and just really say, you know what, I helped develop that thing. And so just the efficiency because of the technology and the way things have progressed, have just been, it's been awe-inspiring.
My approach to introducing the kids to the farm will just be similar to what I had, enjoying the freedoms that you have with the farm. A lot of the memories growing up was, the freedom of when we lived down at the dairy and the freedom to play in the sand or the pile of cottonseed or sawdust or, whatever was around. We had a Massey Ferguson. I just remember going up in it when I was a kid and just thinking how big of a tractor that was. Being in awe of it. Just the things that you can do when you live in a place like this.
I can't imagine my life any other way. There's just something about being in the soil, dealing with animals, that's very fulfilling. That, I know that if I go plant a seed and I take care of it, there's going to be more than likely something at the end to harvest. And just seeing that and being a part of God's plan in that, and providing, food, fuel, fiber for America and the world actually now, is very fulfilling. And, it brings a lot of pride to be involved in that.
There is an innate good feeling about when you can pull a good spud crop. Or like I say, you're trailing them cattle home off the mountain. And you the main driver in that. We're there because you did it. You left your mark, and you hope that mark was for the good.
I think the root of rural America is the agriculture industry and farmers, just like us, farming families just like us that do the million possibilities that you can do in production ag. And so I think that has really helped shape 250 years of America because the backbone of America is rural America.
Ag has come a long way in 250 years, and it's only going to go further in the next.
Farming has just changed a lot in 250 years, and it's going to change a lot more over the next 250 years. John's the 10th generation here at this house. Sure, by 20 more generations, no telling what's going to be the change. Hopefully the land will be in better shape 250 years from now than it is today.
At the end of the day, we're producing food and fiber to feed the world, feed the people. Doing it with family, I think that's part of what makes America have some of the best farmers in the world.
I'm proud to be an American. I'm proud to be from Idaho. I'm proud to be from my little town of Oakley. We wouldn't have that without the 250, the America, what all those guys that went through what they went through way before us to establish this country and to be able to make it where we could have the freedoms that we do. To be able to be a part of taking care of America, if you will, and helping to feed America, it just brings a lot of pride. And I love it. It's the land of opportunity.